Hey there guys, I'm Renee. I am the owner and artist behind Chicly Reclaimed Decor, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through the process of how I transformed this plain white accent wall into this faux stone brick style wall using painter's tape, texture, and easy hand painting techniques. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in learning, stick around, because that's what I will be going over today. But before we begin, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload new tutorials. Okay, so first things first, you're going to need to paint the wall the color that you want your quote-unquote grout lines to be. I wanted white, and as my wall was already painted that color, I was able to move on to the next step after a good cleaning. Next up, we're going to be measuring and taping off our brick style pattern. So I'm going to be measuring my bricks 8 inches in length and 4 inches in height. And as I'm going along and marking things, I'm going to keep in mind not only the width, but the placement of my painter's tape. For this process, I'm going to be using a level to make sure that my lines are straight and a colored pencil to mark things with. You could also use a laser level or download a level tool app to assist you during this process. Next up, I'm going to be adding a piece of tape in the middle here to create what is going to be a square-like pattern. Now I followed the same process as before to measure, mark, and tape during this step. So from here, I'm going to be creating that staggered brick wall pattern, and I find it personally easier to pre-mark things before I begin. Now, starting at the top, working from one side to the other, I'm going to be cutting every other piece of tape. And then you just are going to reverse that pattern when you start the next row, and then continue alternating until you get to the bottom. Next up, I'm going to be adding texture to this wall. And as you may have noticed, this faux brick wall isn't as 3D as other do-it-yourself designs you may have seen. Now, I love that it gives some depth to the bricks, but they don't protrude out, and I also love that there is minimal mess doing it this way. Now I'm going to be using embossing medium, which is a high quality acrylic plaster, but as an alternative, you could most definitely get away with using pre-made joint compound. For this part, I recommend using just a cheap chip brush to apply the texture onto each brick. Now you can use a dabbing motion to create peaks of texture or a side-to-side motion to create another variation. I know it's hard to see here, so here is an up-close look at this technique applied on a small canvas, which I'm going to be using for some product photos later on. So this technique can be used in a variety of ways and applied to a variety of surfaces. And you can add a lot of this product onto your design or just a small amount, depending on how pronounced you would like your brick design when you are all finished. Once my texture is dry, I'm going to come back and apply my first layer of brick-inspired paint colors. Now I'm using a reddish orange and a light and dark brown, but you could definitely paint this one color if you would like. I'm just creating some variation here by painting this dirty blend of colors, meaning it doesn't need to transition from one color to the next perfectly. And I'm just using a combination of circular and dabbing motions to blend these colors over top of the texture that we have down. Next up, I'm going to be dry brushing on a variety of colors, starting with an off-white. And for ease of view, we are going to switch back to working on this small canvas. So I have a small amount loaded onto a chip brush, and I'm using the back of the brush, not the tip, to add this color over top. Again, use your own discretion here as to how much of this color you would like to add over top of your brick style colors that you already have down. And this is what it looked like when we applied that same process onto our actual wall. And the last step in this process is to add on one more layer of that off-white color that we used earlier on. Now, any marks that are visible from the colored pencil I used earlier, I'm just going to take a damp microfiber cloth and wipe them away. And if you have any paint bleed through, just do some quick touch-up using the color that you chose for your grout. And remember to seal your design if you used clay or chalk style paint for this project. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial where I shared with you how to create this faux stone brick-inspired design using painter's tape, texture, and easy hand painting techniques. If you liked today's tutorial and you're interested in more DIY content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And again, I'm Renee. I am the owner and artist behind Chicly Reclaimed Decor. And today, I hope that I've inspired you to pick up a paintbrush and to do a little creating of your very own.